How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode episode 6, entitled Akaza. Now, just grabbing my notes I took right here, but yeah, I was given bad information. I thought that the last episode would be this one. It is most definitely not. This episode is next episode, which the ending of this one even said it, but I'll get to that. If I seem kind of sad, it is this episode threw me for a loop. And if you've already seen Demon Train, you probably already know what's going on. And I said before, some stuff was spoiled for me, but here's the thing: much like much like when I watched Infinity War, I can immerse myself in something even if I kind of sort of know, like, oh man, this character's not really gone forever. They're gonna come back because blah 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 blah, or well, I heard about something that's gonna happen, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on immersing myself. If you're like me, to immerse yourself. And even if you don't immerse yourself, you know what I need you to do? I need you to give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it. So let's get right on into this. Remember last time, our boys, not this boy, these two boys, Tanjiro and Inosuke, they worked in tandem to get the demon we now know as Enmu's neck bone, or just neck visible now that he has become the train, and sliced it right down the middle. Excuse me. Our recap also included seeing that dumbass conductor stab Tanjiro in the stomach as he, blocked him from getting to Inosuke. Which, damn, that is really good writing. Excuse me, that's really good writing. It was set up in such a way that the situation we're in right now, damn. Anyway, um, at this time, the scream and the jostling that came with killing the demon train, bits of meaty body part came off of it, but it also jostled in turn. Now, before Tanjiro can even tell Inosuke to, excuse me, before he can tell Inosuke to go and make sure everybody's okay, they go fly. He goes flying in the air. They're going flying off. And it's amazing that in his mind, he's thinking, I can't die here because if I die, the conductor guy's going to be a murderer. I'm like, Tanjiro, can you be any more of a good guy? Damn. Like, damn. Damn. That's the thing you're thinking about. And he's thrown off, train falls and skids, and he's rolling down the hill because now they're on this little small hill area. And Inosuke runs down and calls him Santoro. He's like, he even mentioned before he fell off, his belly is bleeding, if he was okay. And of course he said he's okay. He's not really okay. Falling off of that train basically knocked him on his butt, hurt him a lot. And Inosuke was basically bragging. He was able to bounce off of the demon flesh that was on the train, that nasty gooey part. And he says he's all right, but Inosuke's kind of holding him kind of tenderly, and Tanjiro can barely speak, and he's asking him, check on the others. He asks him if the conductor's all right, and Inosuke says it's okay if that bastard dies, which I kind of have to agree with him. I don't really care about the guy that knowingly is letting people get killed just to have a good dream to escape his reality. You're harming others just to help yourself temporarily. Nah, that dude can die. But Tanjiro being Tanjiro says no, he can't, and Inosuke informs him he's just trapped underneath the train. He can't even move his foot, and his leg is shattered. He said just let him die. And Tanjiro's like, all right, that means he's atoned for his sins. Go and help him out. And Inosuke takes a minute. Again, we can't see his actual facial features underneath the boar mask, but he says, you know what? I'll do it because you ask, and I'm the boss. You're the subordinate. I'm going to go help this guy, and I'm going to pluck out every last one of his hairs. while Tanjiro is saying that's not necessary, he seems pretty much out of it. I think that the train fall on top of getting stabbed in the stomach by an ice pick, that would pretty much do you in. So these people are superhuman, but still human. Um, Tanjiro is also making note that it's almost dawn, so they're almost good, right? There's no way anything else can attack them. They got a little bit more, sunlight starting to peek over the mountain. They'll be okay. Um, he's trying to get his breathing under control, and while he's trying to do that, he's thinking of all the others. He's thinking of his sister, Zenitsu, Blondie right here, thinking of Rengoku. He's gonna believe that they're all okay. And while he's doing this, we get the goopy mask that comes out with two eyes that was Enmu. And Enmu was just he's pissed because he's about to die. He cannot regenerate from anything. He blames Rengoku because Rengoku stopped him from eating anybody. He said, I couldn't even eat a single person. Zenitsu also stopped him because he wasn't even fully out of the dream and still able to do what he needed to do. Nezko helps beat him. He's like, there's a demon within the demon slaying corpse? What? He says, well, this all started with Tanjiro, who broke his spell. And what about that boar dude? The boar dude could sense his gaze. So, he's dying into nothing. He's saying it's a nightmare, which is, that's what you get. That's karma. You like giving people nightmares before you kill them. This is a living nightmare as you are fading away. And I thought he was going to try to drag himself over there, but nah, he's just shouting at the wind. And he makes a nice little fact he gives us what do we call it? Not an exposition, but he gives us watchers and readers, if you're reading the subs, telling us all the lower demons, they all die. For some reason, they can't beat anybody, but all those upper demons, they've been the same for a very long time. I think probably for centuries. They have killed the many Hashiras who have killed countless amounts of demons. So, wow. But we are given, and I love when they do this, we're given a quick flash of, I'm going to be honest, the guy who's going to come up is the guy that's on the promotional stuff that's fighting Rengoku. So we get to see the back of him, but I'm guessing if you were in theaters, you're like, I don't know who this guy is. And then we get a shimmering glimpse of what looks to be a female character. But he's burning out into nothing, just cursing that it's all a nightmare. I'm thinking to myself, Tanjiro, are you supposed to be getting the eyes or the blood sample from from this thing or something like that? But I guess being able to survive this pretty harrowing experience should be good enough. Not really, but okay. And after that moment, Rengoku appears right over him, and he's talking to him. He's saying, "Yeah, you at least appears that you've mastered total breathing concentration. Remember, this is actually the scene when he was trying to master that." And he's saying, that's the first step on your way to being a Hashira, but there's probably like 10,000 more steps for you. And Tanjiro, of course, being the ever polite, is saying, I'm going to do my best. And he notices that, he's bleeding from his abdomen. He tells him that he needs to reach out to all the nerves in his body and locate the area where he's hurting. He, even just from glancing at him, Rengoku can tell where he's bleeding at. And Tanjiro's able to focus, find that area, and he tells him, all right, now you need to just focus on that and get yourself to stop bleeding. And he's doing a really good job, like just gently poking him in the head because Tanjiro's laid out on the ground. If you scroll back, he's laid out on the ground, can't do anything. And he's able to do it. He being Rengoku, informs him that when you master total breathing, you can do a lot of different things. I mean, you'll be stronger than you were yesterday, but you're not going to be completely super amazing. And he reassures him, everybody's safe. People might be hurt, but everyone is perfectly safe. And then the moment in anime where like the character can feel the aura or the strength or the presence of another character. And that's what happens to the both of them. They get this overwhelming force. Rengoku turns around to see this demon wearing a vest. And if, as you know in anime, if you're wearing a vest, you're probably really strong. I mean, just look at Majin Buu, look at Gogeta, excuse me. But this new demon shows up, and he's the one from the flashback. He's the guy on the promotional stuff, and he's looking at Rengoku. He looks at Tanjiro on the ground. In the snap of a finger, he is above him, ready to smash his face in. Second form of the fire breathing, it's called the rising scorching sun. That's his version of the uppercut move. Slices this guy from, I'm just gonna use this, from here to here. He's all floppy and he just gets his arm back together, barely, pardon me, barely bleeding. And Rengoku can sense that. And this is, I like this part of anime when we're getting into characters being like, I can sense how strong another character is. I know that you are the special big boss type of character because I can just tell because I've been doing this long enough. Excuse me. And he can sense that he's in the upper level. Funny thing is, Tanjiro had already identified that he's the upper number 3 based on what was in his eyes. And so Rengoku said, yeah, so why would you attack an injured person instead of the healthy guy? Said he might get in the way of the chit chat we're having. And what would I have to talk to you about? You know, my first time meeting you, and I already don't like you. I thought he said he hated him, but he doesn't like him. This guy says he hates weak humans, and he says our sense of values are completely different. But he has a proposition for him. He is offering for Rengoku to turn into a demon. You know, he can see that his spirit is sharply honed, and when we look through this demon's eyes, you can see that flame aura. Whoever is doing the special effects for this anime, good job. It's not even just the 3D rotoscope or some of the moments that were in, you know, our first season with I can tell when the characters are 3D and when it on top of the 2D background. That was a really good effect. It looked like an actual flame, like a match flame. And he can also tell that he's a Hashira. So we have 2 very strong opponents that can just tell by looking at one another how strong they are. And Rengoku introduces himself as the Flame Hashira Kyojuro Rengoku. And he introduces himself as Akaza. Yes, Akaza, the name of our episode. Akaza then tells him, you can't get to the highest heights of being a human because as a demon, you don't die. You know, he wants to train with him for hundreds of years and keep fighting just so they can enjoy the fight. Now, Tanjiro in his mind is saying, out of all the demons he has come across, this guy has the strongest scent to Mitsuzan. If that's how you even say the guy, lady, the bad guy's name, Mitsuzan. Rengoku tells him, growing old, that's part of what being a human is. It shows nobility, it means that life is unbearably precious, and strength doesn't just pertain to the body. And we see Inosuke helping people very recklessly, but he's helping people. We see Zenitsu and Nezko, and I think with the tuberculosis boy, he's kind of holding both of them. They're both passed out, so there's no helping here. Like I said earlier, that stab to the gut, that set this up perfectly. So perfectly. So, another thing that I appreciate from Rengoku, he says, that boy isn't weak. Do not insult him. And this thing surprises both Tanjiro and Akaza. They both kind of like give him this look. And again, he says, I don't care how many times I have to reiterate this. You and I have different values. And no matter what the reason is, he's never going to become a demon. Guy's like, alright, I see. He does the cool anime trope of popping his wrist, you know, popping his bones. I don't know if you guys actually heard that. Ow. I said he stomped, but he barely stomps on the ground. makes a crack, and his ability is technique development, destructive depth compass needle. It looks like a massive bloody snowflake with different kanji on it. And what's ridiculous, we've seen blood arts. This seems to be a lot different than a blood art. I don't. I, the guy is a martial artist because, sorry guys, this is his stance. That is a stance I've seen before in anime, but I've also seen uh, I've seen this in Tai Chi before. You know, it's kind of supposed to be an open palm kind of thing. He's in a stance. Our guy Rengoku, he gets in a stance, and they're off. You know, he says, if you refuse to be a demon, I'll just kill you. And they are going at it, sword to fist. We have our first Dragon Ball moment of this show where Tanjiro cannot see them. All he sees is the blue flash from Akaza's fist and the sword flare from Rengoku. They are just moving, and then the dust and everything is moving. They are moving that fast, and it's canon with Rengoku from this whole entire arc. We've seen this guy move incredibly fast. The only thing in his wake is a spiral of flames. So, uh, Akaza's talking while they're fighting. Rengoku is the silent fighter because he's quiet while taking this very serious. And Akaza's talking through. He's saying, "I've never killed any Hashiras until now, or flame Hashiras until now." Um, he said, and for some reason, no one ever took him up on that offer. He says, "I don't. Do you even understand why?" He's saying, "As a fellow martial artist, I don't get it." And you know, during this battle, during some of these conversations, that blade is more than half an inch into this guy's wrist, and he's able to slice off an arm, but he's growing back limbs much faster. I actually, if I remember correctly, this goes back to the ball demon and the arrow demon, where they were regrowing their limbs, but they weren't regrowing their limbs like that. This guy's just, it, it's it's almost, I was gonna say it's like Piccolo. It's like, you know, when Piccolo got his arm dried up, pulled it off, and just shot another one out. It's much faster than that. Um, so Akaza goes on by saying, watching the decline of those with extraordinary powers and talent, you know, it pains him. He's telling he's telling Rengoku, saying, Kyojuro, die while you're still young. He's doing his destructive death techniques, and he's throwing punches, and Rengoku can't see. He gets hit by one, and he's blocking. He's like, all right, I got you. The music, by the way, very nice, kind of a Middle Eastern vibe to it. Really, really good. It matches the appearance of Akaza. I wouldn't doubt if this was actually Akaza's theme. He can see what's going on now. He does his fourth technique, blowing flame, adulation. It's basically he brings his blade up and is making a circle of flames, and we see those blue impacts. Guy is striking the air, and wherever he strikes the air, his fist is going to reach it because of how hard he's punching. Uh, Rengoku was able to quickly analyze and say, well, he can move faster than the blink of an eye, and even though he's using the flames to block, he's like, I can't fight at a distance. I'm going to have to get in close because that's going to be the only way I can take his head off. And again, that speed, he's gone, trail of flames, and he's right in this guy's face. And dude is praising him for his speed. He says his speed is superb, and they are. This is probably the best fight in the series as of right now. I I don't it's I don't really have much to say. This is a really 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 good fight. And Akaza again goes, doesn't dying and all that stuff make you sad? Of course, Rengoku says it's a fact of life. It's a part of being human. It's bound to happen. And Nosuke, at this point, Nosuke's besides Tanjiro. Tanjiro is going to try to get up. Rengoku has enough time to look behind him and says, "Stay back. Do not get up." And that is an order because if you get up, that wound can open up and it's going to be fatal. it says a lot about how strong a character is. When you're in a death match and you have enough time to turn back, yell at your subordinate or yell at your comrade and say, "Do not come closer to me. Stay your butt there." And of course, Akaza again says, "Don't bother with the weaklings, Kyojuro. Focus on me." And he gets him. He gets him close, but he didn't. How do I express this? They're fighting. Rengoku's able to slash him into the forest area that's near them. Get in. They're ducking behind trees, but then he gets kicked right back out and hits the small part of the hill. Again, they're fighting, and dude got his arm cut off while they were in the forest. Doesn't matter, and grows it right back. Akaza is like, he wants to fight this guy forever. And he's saying that, dude, you have what it takes. Again, Rengoku is refusing to become a demon. He does his third form, Blazing Universe, which he's trying to aim for that neck, and it just misses. This time, dude does the destructive death technique, but he uses the air type. So he's punching at the air because when Goku's in the air, he's getting hit, he's falling down, and meanwhile, Inosuke is just frozen in awe because he said he can't jump in, he can't keep up. There's no opening. He can tell that there's the difference between them is that they're on a whole entire different dimension than him. Getting in between this fight would only mean certain death for him. He can feel that in his deepest bones. So he's the animal guy, and even he can tell. Even though he's boorish, no way he can get in the middle of this fight without dying. And he said he can't even move because backing up would still be a hindrance to Rengoku. So as they're fighting, Akaza's saying, "You don't get it. If you keep attacking me, you keep fighting, you're getting closer to death." And straight, not even a straight punch, a punch glances the side, or the left side of Rengoku's head. He's starting to bleed now. He does first form Unknowing Flame. It's crazy because his moves are hitting. He's able to slice both of dude's arms off because that's how he blocked. He blocked with both arms coming up. Generally on parts like this, gotta get my light back up. Generally on parts like this, I'm able to not have to do a lot of talking because of the fighting, but there's a lot of talk going on during this fight. Akaza gets both arms back. He's saying it's a shame to kill you now when you haven't even reached your peak, and he gets him right in the rib, right on his right side. He that same uppercut flame slash to rising scorching sun. Again, Akaza saying, in a year or two you'll be more polished. And while they're again clashing, that blade to fist clash, blade slips and he's hit right in his face. And at this point, his eyes closed. He's profusely bleeding. You've probably seen those pictures before. Excuse me. Rengoku is stumbling, one eye open, goes for his other downward swipe, the Blazing Universe technique, and he goes into that and seamlessly follows it up with that defensive flame form where it's basically the circular wall of flame. Guy's going for his little destructive death technique. We get to see the fifth form, which is Flame Tiger, and he just sends a wave of flame that turns into a beautiful fire tiger. Looked really, really good. Again, good job, animation department. Great job. The destructive death technique is called Disorder, which it kind of just looked like all the same, but it was much bigger impact when it hit the tiger because it's a big clash. Dude gets his arm cut off again, and Inosuke is asking if they won because after the techniques they had a clash, but Akaza grew his arm back. Rengoku is breathing heavily. Tanjiro saying, "Don't tell me," because he's wondering if he's already dead. And Akaza saying, let's fight more. Don't die on me, Kyojuro." And that's where the episode ends. We don't get a Taisho because this is way too serious. You know, both of the boys are calling out to Rengoku. Inosuke calls him, googly eyes, but you know, they're calling out to him, and we are told next week is the final episode, and it's called "Set Your Heart Ablaze." And Rengoku's words as we leave this episode is, "I will fulfill my duties." I don't know if he's gonna kill this guy with him if he dies. I'm pretty sure Rengoku does die, but that is a shame. I was sad coming into this review, and I felt sad watching this because this is a really likable character. Like, you did a really good job of, I didn't particularly care for him in the final episodes of the first season because he was against Nezko, our cute Nezko, but knowing that he is liked by all of his other captains, no one has a bad thing to say about him. Even the people who are mean don't have a thing to bad say about him. All three of these guys met him, and, well, save for Dopey over here, these two met him, and they were devoutly impressed by him. Just his presence, his attitude, how friendly he is. The dude, his training regimen may be hard, and that's why he doesn't have any students under him, but he was able to coach Tanjiro into doing another thing of his breathing technique just that quickly. And it sucks that I'm pretty sure that we're gonna lose a really, really cool character. And I'm typically more of an electric, water, wind kind of guy. I kind of like those type of dudes. This dude's really cool. Like, doesn't brag. He's what you would imagine a normal, hopeful, really good character is. And just getting his backstory, I think that was episode 3 when we got his backstory, thanks to the little flashbacks. Or should I say the fake dream world. Uh, man, man. Damn this series. But at least next Sunday, the holiday weekend, last episode until we get into the December, where it will continue. I I don't know what we're gonna do after this, but let me know what you thought of the episode. If you have seen Mugen Train, and if you are watching this again, what are your thoughts? If this is your first time watching it too, tell me what your thoughts are. I'm genuinely interested. But if you have made it this far, leave me a comment down below. Again, I said this last week. I'm gonna say it one more time. Tell me what breathing technique you have. I don't care if you made it up or if it's in the manga and you finished it, or if it's in the anime and you haven't. You're just waiting for anime to finish. Tell me what type of breathing technique you have. I would probably like to make up a thing where I have a sword of storms. I like stuff like that. As always, drop me a like. I'm looking for that comment, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. If you're not new here, hit the notification bell because I'm gonna keep doing the Goblin Slayer. Wow, sorry, the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, and be sure to share the video so others can see what an interesting time we're having with this discussion. As always, I thank you for your time. Please be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. This week, I'm just gonna tell you, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Turkey Day, Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. If you are a person who has to work on the holiday, I'm sorry. Please be safe. If you're going shopping on Black Friday, do not be that person. Do not be an a-hole. And just be safe and take care of yourselves. Please. I'll definitely see you guys next time.